New York, a city that never sleeps. But that evening, under the cold glow of Brooklyn Bridge, something unusual was about to happen. Ethan, 26 years old, calm, quiet, a software engineer who believed he had figured out his life, stood with a warm cup of coffee in his hands. He didn't know that fate was walking toward him. A sudden gust of wind rushed across the bridge. Papers began to fly, and one lonely sheet slipped right to his feet. Ethan bent down, picked it up, and that's when he saw her. Emma, 24, journalism student, curious eyes, a soft smile, and a little chaos around her. She hurried toward him, slightly embarrassed. Ethan held out the paper and said with a gentle smile, "Looks like New York wanted us to meet." Emma laughed softly. "I think you were standing at the wrong place." And just like that, a lost sheet of paper became the beginning of something beautiful. New York had a way of turning small moments into big memories. And for Ethan and Emma, those memories grew fast. Late-night walks in Times Square, quiet coffee shop mornings, long drives on the Manhattan highways. Their laughter echoed through the city like a perfect love song. But love changes, even in the most beautiful stories. Emma received the call she had always dreamed of, an internship at CNN New York, one of the biggest opportunities for a young journalist. Ethan was proud. He held her hands and told her, "You deserve this, Emma. Go shine." But deep inside, a fear settled quietly. With time, Emma's schedule became impossible. Late-night assignments, breaking news coverage, endless editor meetings. Sometimes she didn't reply for hours. Sometimes she didn't come home until after midnight. Ethan waited. He tried to understand, but slowly, the distance between them began to grow. And then came Ryan, Emma's new coworker, confident, charming. One evening, Ethan found a sticky note on Emma's storyboard. "Great work, Emma." Ryan. It was small, harmless, meaningless. But Ethan's heart didn't think so. For the first time, a crack appeared. A crack made of doubt, jealousy, and fear. A crack that would soon change everything. Days turned into weeks, and the space between Ethan and Emma felt wider than all of New York. Ethan tried to hold things together. He cooked dinner for two. He waited by the window. He sent her goodnight texts she sometimes didn't even read. Emma wasn't doing it on purpose. She was chasing her dream. But dreams demand sacrifices, and sometimes those sacrifices are people we love. At CNN, Emma's world was changing fast. Her name was showing up on major stories. Producers praised her, and Ryan, always confident, always helpful, made her feel capable. One night, Emma messaged Ethan, "Big deadline, don't wait for me." He replied with a simple heart. But his heart didn't feel simple anymore. That same night, Ethan saw something that shook him. A photo Emma posted on her story. She and Ryan, laughing together in the CNN studio, late at night. Just the two of them. Ethan felt a cold wave run through him. Not anger, just fear. Fear of losing the person he trusted the most. When Emma finally came home, she was tired, excited, glowing from her career high. Ethan tried to talk, tried to tell her how he felt, but Emma brushed it off. "Ethan, you're overthinking. It's just work. Ryan is just a colleague." Her words were soft, but her eyes were somewhere else. For the first time, Ethan felt invisible. For the first time, he wondered, was love enough for two people chasing different dreams? The storm hadn't arrived yet, but the clouds were building. That Friday night was supposed to save everything. Ethan planned it all. Her favorite food, candles, soft music, the kind of warmth New York winters couldn't offer. He wanted to remind Emma of them, of the laughter, the promise, the love that once felt unbreakable. But life doesn't follow plans. Emma arrived late, much later than she said. Hair messy, eyes tired, phone buzzing nonstop. Ethan smiled anyway. "It's okay, you're here now." But she wasn't. Not really. They sat to eat. Ethan tried to start soft. "Emma, I feel like I'm losing you." She froze, looked down, avoided his eyes. "Ethan," she whispered, "I'm just overwhelmed. Work is insane, you know that." But Ethan had carried those words too long, and tonight they felt heavy. Is it work or is it Ryan? Emma's head snapped up. A flash of defensiveness, a spark of anger. "Seriously? Ethan, don't do this. He's just helping me." At 2 a.m.? Every night? "Emma, I'm not stupid." Silence. Only the sound of rain tapping the window behind them. As if the city itself was listening. Finally, Emma said the words Ethan feared most. "I don't know anymore. I don't know what I feel. I don't know if I can balance us and my career." Ethan felt something inside him crack. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet break. The kind you only feel when the person you love starts slipping away. He whispered, "So what are we now?" Emma couldn't answer. Her silence was the answer. Two people, in the same room, but miles apart. And that night, the night meant to save their relationship, became the night everything changed. After that painful dinner, days passed, but nothing got better. Ethan and Emma stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped trying. It wasn't anger. It was exhaustion. Two hearts tired of breaking the same way again and again. But the real goodbye came on a quiet Sunday morning. Ethan woke up early, made coffee, stared at the empty side of the bed, the place Emma used to call home. He knew the truth. He couldn't wait forever for someone who wasn't sure anymore. So he called her. His voice was calm, too calm for a boy who loved her that deeply. "Emma, can we talk?" She hesitated, then sighed, "Yeah, I think we should." They met at the small park in Brooklyn, where they had their first date, where the world once felt simple. Emma arrived wearing the same nervous smile she had when they first met, except now it carried guilt. Ethan didn't waste time. "Tell me honestly, is there any part of you still choosing us?" Emma swallowed hard. Her eyes brimmed with tears she didn't want to shed in public. "I love you, Ethan, but I'm not the girl who can give you the life you want. Not right now. Maybe not ever." Ethan felt the world slow, but he nodded. Because real love isn't about forcing someone to stay. It's about letting them go when holding on only causes more pain. He whispered, "Then, I guess this is goodbye." Emma broke. A single tear slipped down her cheek as she touched his hand one last time. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I never wanted to hurt you." Ethan smiled a broken smile. "I know, that's why it hurts." They stood there, two souls who once dreamed of a forever together, now saying the goodbye neither of them ever imagined. Emma walked away first, each step echoing like a chapter closing. Ethan watched her go, not with anger, not with regret, but will. Because sometimes love doesn't end with a fight. Sometimes it ends with a quiet goodbye. After that final goodbye, life didn't magically get easier for Ethan or Emma. Ethan went home to silence. A silence so heavy, it felt like the walls knew she was gone. For weeks, he avoided the places they used to go. The cafe where she stole his fries. The bookstore where she would spend hours. The bridge where she once said, "You feel like home." But the truth was, he needed this space. He needed to feel the pain, to understand something important. Losing someone you love doesn't mean you lose yourself. Slowly, Ethan rebuilt his life. He started running again, picked up photography, the hobby he once abandoned, and spent more time with friends who reminded him that his heart was worth saving. And Emma, she wasn't unaffected. Her nights were filled with memories she tried to ignore, moments she wished she had appreciated more. But she kept moving. Hoping the distance would help her find the clarity she lost. Months passed. One evening, Ethan stood on the Brooklyn Bridge, camera in hand, capturing the sunset. A soft glow painted the sky. Pink, gold, peaceful. For the first time in a long time, he smiled without forcing it. He realized something powerful. Some people come into your life to stay forever. Others come to teach you how to love better, yourself and the ones who will stay. He whispered to himself, peace. I hope she finds what she's looking for, and I hope I do too. He wasn't angry. He wasn't broken. He was healing. Because goodbyes don't always mean the story ends. Sometimes they mean the next chapter is finally ready to begin. And somewhere in the same city, Emma paused while walking past that little Brooklyn park. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered the same words. I hope you're happy, Ethan. Two hearts, once one, now walking two different paths. Not as enemies, not as strangers, but as memories. Soft, beautiful, and finally, at peace.